Hello and welcome back to the third in my series of how many guitars are too many guitars? Well, 8 is too many guitars. So I'm having 3 of them. I'm pretty sure I'm ready to part with, and at that point we'll see. If I don't part with them, then I don't part with them and I keep messing with them. But this is the third and final one. I have no idea what year it is, but it is a Barracuda Stratocaster in black. This is one that I picked up for $100 on Faceplant. But wait, that's not all. I also got a stand, a 15-watt practice amp, cord, 3 books, and 2 more pick guards for right-handed Strat with 2 pickups and the 3 pots and the switch. So today we're just going to go over it, make sure that it's ready to hit the market, and that it will be by double checking the nut, which we did work on in a previous video, so it should be fine. We're going to check the string height at the 12th and then basically just clean it up because, well, that's what it requires. So the first thing we're going to do is check the nut. To check the nut action, you want to put the capo on beyond the 2nd fret, and then we want just a little bit of room at the 1st fret. And I'm not sure if you're going to be able to hear this or not, but if you can tap it and it goes, so we can tell there's just a little bit of space, and that is what we want. And we know it's good because when we got this, it had a really extremely high nut, and it was like 3.5 millimeters at the 12th fret. And it doesn't have any usage on it, and that'll be why, because whoever would be trying to play this would sound like would sound bad. Close, eh? Because when you have that much action, when you make any chord, you have so much string travel to the fret that the note is going to go sharp. So you'd think that, well, guitar's just not for me, when actually the guitar is not good for you. If you get these things, get them set up right, you're going to play so much easier, so much better. It's going to sound so much better. It's going to inspire you to stick with it better than if everything you play sounds like crap and you just think, I can't play guitar. No, the guitar can't play for you. So by all means, whenever you get a new guitar, and especially you young people who are just starting, or old people who are just starting, it's very important to make sure that you do that. The other thing is, with that kind of string height, my first guitar that I bought back in 1986 had very high action, and I never looked at it. I played it for 30 years that way, which I believe contributed to my carpal tunnel. That and work and play and all that sort of stuff, but it certainly will not help, especially if you're playing it a lot. So that's where we start out, off to the bench. So please excuse the background noise. It's a hot summer day. I've got the window open. And the first thing we're going to do, of course, is check the action at the 12th fret in millimeters. So at the 12th we have good 175, 175 to 2, 175 to 2, 175, 175, 175. So that is good action. Let's double check the first one again. It's about 175. The second one is at about 2. So we can drop the second string if we want. But the first thing we're going to do is go through each note and make sure that we have no buzzing. So that is the first thing you want to do. I might have to plug this in, but I'm on the 10th floor of an apartment building. I can't be blasting this thing, so you might not hear this. And so I got no buzzing at all. Okay, so we're getting a little bit of buzzing or twang on the open low E. D. Anyways. You can't hear it all the time, just at that open spot. So there is what we have to do with this one. We have to fill in this large gap, because what it is this final nut groove is too wide and the string is vibrating inside there, and that's what gives you that twang, You can probably hear it best up here. None of the other ones do it. And as soon as you fret that chord, as soon as you push down the fret, it goes away. It's only when it's open. If you get that twang when you're pushing down, then the problem is up here in the bridge. So we know that it is a nut problem. My nut groove is too big, man. So let's fix it to the point where it will come out. Ah. It is still there. So we will remove the string, and then the next time we're not going to put the string in too soon. We done this before, but what we did was put the glue in there and then set this in, I think, before it completely dried. So we are going to let it completely dry this time before we put the string back in. And that's why it was still vibrating, is because the glue was over it, but the hole down below was still too wide. Glue time. So what we're going to do is get a toothpick with a little bit of glue. Fresh glue, not this dry old crusty stuff on top. Make sure the glue gets pushed down into the nut. We're going to let this sit on there and dry overnight. And then we will finish this video tomorrow. So how's that? And tomorrow will be right about now. And good morning. It is now the next day. So what we've done is we've filled the gap, had it, actually it's a day and a half later. We did this the day before last. Didn't do anything yesterday. Either way we go about it, we've got the gap filled up in the nut, and now we have to re-groove it. Now, of course, you can go get the proper grooving tools to do this, but I don't have those, so what I'm going to use, a razor knife. So all we're going to do, we've already brought it up to tension, and we know that this has got to come down quite a bit. We're going to verify that by putting the capo on the second fret here, and there is too much movement in that last string. Remember how we just have to tap? We want very, very minimal gap. So what we're going to do is loosen the string off. Hey, I got an idea. Off to the bench. So what we're going to do is loosen off this string, remove it from the nut, and we want to create a new groove in there. And it's just been filled up with glue. Either way, we want the groove to go in this angle, because the string has to come in and go down through this tree up to the first spindle. So you want the angle to go that way, and we want it to go, oh, let's say about let's just take an eyeball check on that. And that is still way too high. Now it seems to have got rid of the twang, but it is still too high. So we are just going to run this blade through it. Let's get up so we got some good fresh blade. Wind it up. Just bring it to a rough tune, and we can still tell that it is too high. So let's remove the tension. Yeah, now we're getting down a little bit lower. And is the twang on? Yes. This isn't the perfect way to do it, but for a $100 guitar, it's more than adequate. Now let's put the cable back on the second and check. And I think we're at it. Let's take a closer look. It's still sitting a little bit higher than the rest, so we can still groove that a little bit more. Oh no. And I just took out that big piece of glue. Was that all of the glue that was in there? Is it going to the twang didn't come back. But we know it's high at the nut. Let's go from this side. We don't want to go too far because we're at this end. I think that feels much better. Yes. Might be a little bit of twang yet. And how do we gone forever? So first things first, we're going to clean out that groove again. Carefully, because we don't want to remove any extra. Double check, make sure that when we bring it up, we are still getting the twang. There's no twang. Let's double check this closely. Well, I'll be a son of a gun. I think what we've done was created the perfect groove so that it doesn't twang, because it's not twanging. Okay. So there we go. I guess we'll just leave it at that. The adjustments have done. Drink heavily. Wow. It's good, it's bad, it's good, it's bad. Let's check the string height and see where it's at. .75. .175 across the board. Oh yeah, forgot. It's not in tune. There's no twang. So whatever it is we did, whether we just made the groove perfect with the razor knife or what, I don't know, but it's gone. So there we have it. The only other thing I did to this lately is these string trees. I replaced the ones on my Leo James, which are these ones, for the ones that were on the Barracuda. These ones are just a flat piece of metal bent into grooves, and the break point or the contact point at the edges are sharp. So for the Type TL, I've decided I wanted the ones that are curved, and this one I think may be getting sold, because I'm getting to the point where I've got 8 guitars. I don't need 8 guitars. I need new guitars to work on. So if I let these go down the road to somebody, a beginner, this is a perfect beginner guitar. And it's a lot better now, because when I bought it as a beginner guitar, it had 3.5 inch or 3.5 millimeter action at the 12th. It was so bad, because if you got that high action, the action of you pushing down on this guitar or pushing down on this string will create a sharp note, because there's so much movement that the string goes sharp. That's what happens. So voila. And with that, thanks for watching. Please share, like, subscribe, check out the other videos on my channel. Might be something there you're interested in. Leave a comment below, tell me what I did right, did wrong. I know I do things wrong. I'm not a luthier, just an old guy with too much time on my hands. So with that, catch you next time. Bye now.